Everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to do Kelly Jones's The Hammer, issue number 404 from Dark Horse. So yeah, guys, this is the end of this series. There is a volume 2 that I'm going to check out and probably review. I believe it's shorter, 2 books, maybe, or maybe even 4. I don't know. I'm going to check it out. Anyway, we're going to talk about this one. So in the last couple of issues, I had my doubts if this, series would have a satisfying ending. For me, it was. So I was wrong. And that's a good thing because, like I said, when I say, oh man, this is not going to go well, and sometimes you see the writing on the wall, right? And mostly I'm right when it comes to this stuff. But this time I had I had fun because there's some kind of a switcheroo. Anyway, sort of. So we go in, right? So we see Isobel in 1680, Isobel Grierson came to Rhode Island from Aberdeen, England. It was here that she could worship in secret. So the legend says that she's been fornicated with demons, in exchange for knowledge and all that stuff, and then she is, how do you say, sacrificing humans to demons and all that. Yeah, she's, like what witches do, right? Because a lot of if we are talking about witches, we don't think at atrocities. Well, I mean, witches don't exist, right? But we think of Harry Potter stuff and cutesy girls on brooms. But in those back in those days, well, witchcraft was more like sacrificing people and killing people and ripping out their entrails and all that stuff and feeding them to Satan or something like that, right? So yeah, but she has been captured, and so these judges from Hartford, I believe, want to interrogate her. Then eventually she caved in. She's been branded, and then before people can do stuff to her, she is screaming her secret name. I don't know what that means, but when they the next morning, she was before she was getting getting what's the word? She's getting execution for her crimes. She was gone, right? Nobody saw her again until in book 1. Then she came back, right? So, but then in Arkham, that must be a coincidence, right? Arkham, Massachusetts. So it seems that these people here, our heroes, if you can call them that, figured out that Isobel was some kind of a, true sayer, self-help person that write books and go on television and telling people that they are getting cured if you follow my 10 steps and buy this book, right? So how can she be sure? How can we be sure she's the person you're hunting? A lot of people swear her book saved their lives. Those unwitting followers have generated tremendous power too often the way to the old ones. And so what do you mean? That self-help books and informations, is that how you say it, allow Isobel Grierson to conjure devils? So and then the Hammer explains that in those books there are some, I don't know, secret passages and spells woven in the writing, and basically, influencing people because it's easier to influence people, on lands that has been infested with evil or mind control, right? All that stuff, and she's been cultivating the dark energy since her arrival in time. Basically when she came here. Humanity has lost its belief in the supernatural, and Isobel Grierson has capitalized on this ignorance. She can work openly here. In her own time, men wisely burn witches and sorcerers like her. Yeah, but that's not the case anymore because now we live in a time where people can, say everything without consequences, right? I mean, unless you are from a certain, side, apparently. Anyway, and, I'm not talking about what happened now in the world. Jesus Christ, that's something, but I'm not going to talk about that. Anyway, they say, hey, we need to find her and put an end to her. And but then this guy says, hey, we are not the only one looking for her because it seems that she's disappeared and police are looking for her, right? So the search parties. And So Hammer says we need to find her, kill her, sever her head, burn her body, and all that stuff. Like, oh, cool. And well, I learned not to question your clairvoyance, but I do question your common sense. She's well known, and you're right. People aren't superstitious. We look like stalkers. We won't be able to get close even if we find her. But the Hammer says, well, we need to do it anyway. And then we see this very cool shot of her posing and, talking, and we list of demons around her. I mean, Kelly Jones' art is spectacular, and I'm going to show you a little bit more later. So she's here, and she's welcomed all of these people in this forest and thanking them for, lending their bodies to be sacrificed to the great ones and all that stuff. And then she's basically explaining a little bit her origins. She says, "Yet I will endeavor to repay all of you for the power lent to me to open the way. The dark universe, so primal and sinister, shall be known to you as it was revealed to me when I crossed the great void." Great shot. So, and then we can see why Kelly Jones is the master of horror. So she's been violated, torn apart, and her flesh joined with the beautiful terror known as Zahak. And she says, so that I could return more than human, capable of the task given me to bring hell on earth. So cool, man. We need more stuff like this. And they come here in this Volkswagen van that is about to get, motor get blown up because it's making noises and a lot of smoke comes out. So he said, hey, we find her. Well, it's either a satanic homecoming or the premiere to the latest Batman movie. Whatever it is, it's a sellout crowd. These participants have no choice but to attend. Oh, look at this, all these detail in the sky, man, with all this swirling and stuff and all that's great. So they step out of the car, and so they say, hey, can you sense it? Oh man, I feel dizzy. I think I'm going to throw up. Evil, pure evil. So then he zaps them with something. So what did you do? I cast a spell closing the synaptic relays to your pineal glands. I have restricted the blood flow to your brains. What? And then he says, wait, that's a stroke. You gave us a stroke. You could have killed us. Well, I took that risk. It's better than having you fall under this evil influence than I have to kill you for sure. There could be long-term effects. True, but that's the sacrifice of total war. So yeah, all right. So she's founding them, and then he's entering the battlefield, if you can call it that. And he says, hey, you two needs to distract them, and I'm going to take care of Isobel, right? But hey, these guys looks vicious, says the other guy. But so Hammer says, well, they are stupid. You can distract them. Well, Isobel is, talking to this girl, and he says, you lucky girl, you inert shall grease, opening to the gates of hell. No, I bought your book, please. Bless you, child. So, and then, some cool swirling in her head. So she says, well, the new age begins, and then this guy says, okay, let's do it, right? So Hammer comes in, and he says, I spent my whole life running from bullies, so this should be too hard. Great inspiration. So yeah, this girl is dead. We see all this blood on her, and so they're shouting, hey, I called the cops. You better get out of here. The cops are already here. Fetch! So these demons are, going after these guys. And then she is summoning a spell and opening some kind of a portal, right? I mean, she's trying to. This is great, man. Using of magic and the lighting effects, just stunning, in my opinion. So Hammer comes. Isobel Grierson, Witch of Aberdeen, I command you to halt this black mass. I wondered when you arrive, alien. It's too late. I opened the way. Then I forced to sever your hand and shut the gate. She says, why don't you join me? Well, I suppose not. And then she's blasting him with her magic, right? And she's pushing him back. She says, I was human, but I've left that behind. Can you not feel it in my spells? Or is the form I wear too much of a distraction? Are these mail order clothes the only enchantment I need against your kind? Well, to be honest, I'm a white straight male, and yeah, I have a weakness for gorgeous looking girls that are half naked. So yeah, I can help it. I'm weak, right? So so she's blasting him with spells, and like I said, it looks cool. So she kicks his ass. Well, the other ones are running away, and he says, "I'm tired." Well, me too. It's all that junk food we've been eating since we linked with the professor. And then she said, "Hey, can you hear something?" "I can't hear anything over your wheezing." And so this one is getting bitten. And but I like it that these are not completely weaklings. They are actually fighting back, right? Instead of cowering and whimpering like in modern comics. And meanwhile, Isobel has to open the gates of hell, and you try to protect this race whose evil thoughts will bring hell to earth. You have manipulated their will. Free will's a bitch. And so he says, "I'm going to put an end to this." And Isabel is blasting him with spells, right? And so yeah, looks great. All these lighting effects and all that stuff. I'm sorry for those who cannot fathom the freedom I bring. And then this monster is coming out. And she says, "A new era begins. This is greater than even I imagined." Looks fantastic. And she's laughing. And look at this monster. Cool. And now she says, "I had enough." "What do you mean?" "Stop, there's nothing you can do." "Then you have nothing to fear, do you, witch?" So then he's starting to chant. And chanting and chanting and louder and louder. And then he releases some kind of an energy. And she says, "What have you done? The gate is closing. What have you done?" I can't feel that anymore. I'm human. What did you do?" "My body absorbed the energy of your spells enough to close the portal. Your own power closed the gate." So, and then the other comes and says, "Hey, Professor, is it over? Did you stop her?" "Yes." And so he says, "Hey, we need to get out of here because otherwise it's going to be a real traffic jam." So they ask, "Hey, what's happened to these people?" So they say, well, Hammer says, some will lose themselves in religion, others in chemical addictions. The majority will commit suicide. Isobel Grierson and her teaching will be blamed, and she will soon be forgotten. Speaking of which, weren't you going to sever her head? There's no need. So he explains that now that she is human, she is harmless, and she cannot do it anymore. And basically, it's over for her, right? And so the other guy says, "I gotta admit, I have my doubts about you. You being an alien made me not trust you over your motives. I hope you can forgive my prejudice." But then, this is the switcheroo, right? Somewhat. He says, "Realize you are alien to me. I could not afford disbelief. The risks were too high. I had to keep secrets from you to make you accept your roles in this, just as Professor Wilcox was denied some answers and told one great lie." So yeah, the Wilson was the guy that's this alien's been crafted on his head. So this guy says, "Wait, are you saying, oh God, he never had cancer, did he? You told him so that you could take his body. You make me murder him so you could be crafted on it? Total war, huh?" Okay, realize this. I'm going to tell you. He might not have allowed me to use his body if he thought he was healthy. Time was of the essence. You both have seen the reality of the evil I fought. You don't get it. I'm just a tool to you. People aren't raw materials to feed your delusions of grandeur. What good is saving the world if the price you pay is murder? But I modeled my strategy on the precedents of your own world. I followed your own acknowledged heroes. I interpreted your Mother Teresa's methods. No, Mother Teresa, huh? So he explains, I do not disagree, because he says murder is murder. Mother Teresa cared for the unwanted, in whom she found worth. She needed earthly money to do this. She did not question the origin of the money, even after she was told the true identity of these donors. She accepted money from drug lords, hitmen, saving and loan embezzles, cruel despots, yet she absolved them and gave them medals. Did she not notice the blood soaked in the money? Though her own faith preached against such donations. She is even being sainted as we speak. Considering her results, starving people fed, sick people cured, homeless people given shelter, the unwanted giving love for the first time in their lives, she saved this world, as I have. Our ends justify any imaginable means. That's a good title. You're crazy. Now hurry, we must get to McDonald's. The triple cheeseburgers are only available for a limited time, and absorbing all that black magic have me left brain for us. That's a good ending. So then we go 9 years later or something. And so this guy in his van says, hey, where's my supper? I'm starving. I need my strength. Because I'm wanting some good loving tonight. Sorry about the black eye, but you know not to piss me off when Razorbacks lose. But remember, in your dream, I'm your dream come true, honey. That's what you said when we met. Guess you didn't know what kind of dream, huh? Damn it, shut the kids up. I'm gonna light the little butts on fire. I'm gonna bring hell to earth, Isobel. You hear me? That's the end. This is a great ending. This is a great ending. I didn't know it would end like this. This is I like this a lot, man. Was this Egan? I don't know. But I thought this was gonna be, I don't know, some weak ending, but the explanation, the hammer, because it makes sense. It makes sense. The end justify the means or something like that, right? And no matter how you see it, because if he didn't do it, well, hell would be on earth. So yeah, guys, this is a great comic. I love it. So we're going to do another hammer issue number soon. Thank you so much for watching as always. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. See you next time. Bye-bye.